Good day traders, welcome to this week's Market Fix. My name is John Jacobs for RMDTRADER and I look forward to presenting to you this week's price predictions and chart analysis of all your favorite market instruments. We start with a quick look at our disclaimer before we will be jumping right in, looking at that gold setup that we mentioned last week and also what is happening with the cryptocurrencies. We will start this week's technical analysis by looking at gold. Gold, after retracing towards this 61.8 Fibonacci level that was measured from the low in March to that high that we saw at the beginning of June, and we did find some support from that level, also a very strong previous area of support, and currently we are struggling to get past that daily 100 SMA level. That is also coinciding with the new weekly R1 pivot level at 1,795. So very important, of course, if you want to see that bullish continuation or that bullish rally to get above that R1 weekly. If we can do that, I'm quite sure that we will have a next stop to our new monthly pivot, and that would be at 1,820. And once that level breaks, I'm pretty sure we will see the price of gold continuing higher towards the previous highs and perhaps even higher. Just in terms of a possible bearish scenario, should price continue to reject that daily 100 SMA, and if we do find price breaking below that level of support at 1,766, it's possible that we will once again be testing that long-term diagonal support level, currently sitting around 1,740. And just below that, or just a slight way below that, we have our S1 monthly support, also coinciding with the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement level around about the 1725 level. So just keep an eye out for that as well. Quickly moving on now to our cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin also still struggling to find its feet. We did find some support on that yearly 365-day moving average. We also have a similar situation on Bitcoin that we saw on gold, with price retracing towards that 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level. So that is definitely an area of support and a zone of support, as I've highlighted here on the chart. The important level here, of course, would be this level at about 35,500, because if we can take out that level, it's likely that we will see price retesting that previous range of resistance, and that is at 40,000 to 41,000. So important level and target should price manage to break above that level. We will also see there is some dynamic support at our weekly pivot, sitting at 32,600, or somewhere between 32,500 and 33,000. So that's currently the important level of support to keep an eye out for. If you do see more bearish price action, as I've mentioned previously, there's a very good chance that we'll see price breaking below that yearly moving average, heading towards the yearly pivot level at 20,600 or around about 20,500. So that would be another very strong level of support, both horizontal as well as diagonally. A brief look now at Ethereum. Ethereum does still have that very eerie head and shoulders pattern looming. And that pattern, of course, does have quite a bit of a target to the downside. However, we can see that there is a slight small bullish candle that we saw. When was that? On Friday, or sorry, rather yesterday, Saturday. I'm recording these videos on Sunday evening, so that's why the candle over there would be for Saturday. And of course, I believe that it would be important for us to get back above this daily 200 SMA and that weekly pivot level at 1,940. That will firstly see a retest of that neckline area of the head and shoulders at 20,070. We also have our new monthly pivot just above that at 22,140. So that will definitely be an area, should we see a pullback towards that level of resistance. A break above that could very likely be moving towards the area of our daily 100 SMA and resistance from that left shoulder, and that is sitting at 2,518. And if it does take out that level, the path would be set for a move towards that R2 monthly at 3,320. Moving on to our indices. Firstly, looking at the DAX. The DAX is also still trending upwards very nicely, still trading above our 50 daily SMA. We are above the weekly pivot as projected for this week. That pivot sitting on 15,500. So that would also be our area of support. If that area of support should be lost, I suspect we will see price dipping into this area of additional horizontal support close to the weekly USD at around about 15,170. If price does continue to range, the area to look out for would be that area of the yearly R1 at 15,700 and that monthly pivot at 15,570. So that would be the area over there. So then we can see price probably ranging in that area. And if it does break out, we have targets at 15,770 and then target at our upper end projected through that diagonal line at 15,000. Well, rather just make it 16,000. I think that would be a better psychological level should price push higher into that area. Looking at the Dow has found some support on the daily 100 SMA with very strong rejection from that area. So there's definitely buyers stepping in at this area. We are currently above the new weekly and monthly pivots. So definitely some bullish price behavior and price action that we are seeing here. The area to look out for the resistance is sitting at 34,760. This is also our yearly R1 pivot level. I actually have it at 34,750. So that would be an important area of resistance and likely the first target for this week. If we do manage to take out that target, we will be probably be making new all-time highs with targets closer to the monthly R2 at 30, well, let's just round that up to 36,000 or perhaps just below that at our monthly R2 at 35,990. Again, should price be rejected at any of these areas, we do have its dynamic support from the daily 100 SMA in that vicinity at around about 33.8 to 33,450. Looking at the NASDAQ has now broken into new all-time highs last week. So this means that the area of our previous highs will now become support. And this is the area above our new monthly pivot at 14,100. So should price pull back, this would be the area of support. Possible new targets could include, firstly, that weekly R1, 14,515. That can be followed perhaps by the monthly R1, 14,700. And finally, very strong resistance should be faced through that yearly R1 pivot at 15,000 around about. Just having a look at some Forex as well. USDJPY has broken out of that symmetrical triangle or this pennant pattern that we have been noting for quite a while now. This means that there's good chance that we'll see price continuing to make continue to make new highs, and I suspect it's likely that we'll first be testing that level at 111.20. And if that level has been reached, perhaps after a quick pullback, next target level would be near the monthly R2 at 112.28. In terms of support, we do have our weekly and monthly pivots quite close to next to each other. The breakout level also sitting just below that. So support would be in the area of about 110. That's 110.3. So there would be some support in that on that level. Some buyers likely stepping in. And if we do lose that level, additional support would be found from this area at 109.744. This was the previous area of resistance, which would now become support. And just judging from that little candle, we can see there was definitely some buyers stepping in that price level. Then also I'd like to look at the USDCAD. This pair has been in a downtrend for quite some time with a very big head and shoulders with a large target that has not yet been reached. It is possible that we are afforded now a nice opportunity to re-enter this short trend after we saw rejection from this daily 100 SMA. This area also previously coinciding with some support. So we can see as soon as price moved into that area of previous support, it has turned into resistance now, and it's likely that price will be pushed lower towards, firstly, perhaps lower towards our our new monthly pivot at 1.226, and once that level has been breached, I suspect we will move towards those previous lows at 1.199 and even lower in the coming weeks. Finally, I'd like to conclude by looking at the GBPUSD. We can see that we have lost the daily 100 SMA, where it has previously acted as support on numerous occasions. We have now lost support of the daily 100 SMA, retested it, and has been rejected once again. I suspect this means we will likely see a move lower. Once again, the first target area would be just below that weekly S1 at 1.374. That is the area where we also see previous support. And I suspect once we're on this area, there might be a little bit of a pullback, but additional support, and I suspect very strong support, will be provided through the daily 200 SMA, currently sitting at 1.360, but likely to be met somewhere along our monthly S1 pivot, previous support, lower range at 1.369. Well, that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please remember to support our channel by subscribing. And until next time, trade smart and trade successful.